time to tackle another one of my favorite bands, the kings of 80s indie, whatever indie means, the Smiths. Now, Morrissey has become quite an unpleasant character because of his questionable remarks and his overall personality, but I still love his lyrics and his voice, especially at this time of his career, and especially when they were complemented by Johnny Marr's precise guitar work. The combination of Marr's jangly, shiny guitar and Morris's voice and lyrics was truly a match made in heaven. But I don't want to forget, as a lot of people do, the important role of Andy Rourke, the bass player. The interplay between his bass and Marr's guitar is often my favorite part of their songs, the way the two instruments are interwoven. His bass lines were always memorable, and I can hum some of them from memory. Releasing only 4 studio albums and a bunch of singles, they left a very impressive body of work, with very few weak spots and innumerable classics. These are some of my favorites. The Headmaster Ritual. What brilliant guitar work by Marr, and what a way to open an album. Those arpeggios are the stuff of dreams. I read that Marr spent 2 years crafting the guitar part. The lyrics are not the most memorable part of the song, but Morris's musings about the dark side of school life are funny enough. Radiohead covered this one, so check it out. This night has opened my eyes. In this beautiful track, you can hear what I meant when I talked about the way in which Marr's guitar lines and Rourke's bass lines are combined to great effect. I love how subtle it is. Everything is very quiet and self-restrained, lending the song a despairing, defeated aura. This one was covered by At the Drive-In, of all bands.
In a river the color of lead.
Even though the Smiths are often portrayed as a gloomy band, they also excelled at positive, uplifting anthems such as this, a simple, straightforward pop song in which Morrissey invites us to get rid of all our insecurities and simply enjoy life. I love the guitar tone, the little guitar riff that keeps popping up during the song. It feels very alive and very driving. Great lyrics as well. If it's not love, then it's the bomb, not the bond, as is usually misquoted, that will bring us together. Classic. Death of a Disco Dancer. Possibly one of the most overlooked tracks in the Smiths' discography. A strangely dark moment in the otherwise quite upbeat Strange Ways Here We Come. The structure of the song is very simple. A nice little bass line that repeats itself, but it's the execution that makes the song. The way the different instruments are slowly incorporated, Morris's delivery, which goes from somber to sardonic to hopeless by the end. The tension just keeps rising, and this shows you that you don't need a whole lot to work with if you know how to manage tension and dynamics. Suffer Little Children. This gorgeous track closes their first album, and it's clearly the highlight for me. Marr's guitars, both the acoustic and the jangly arpeggios, are so soothing and slightly melancholic. The chords are plain beautiful. It kind of reminds me of R.E.M., which were contemporaries with the Smiths. Morris's lyrics allude to the infamous Moors murders that took place in Manchester during the 60s. They are strangely poetic and also highly upsetting. Sheila, Take a Bow. On the other side of the Smiths spectrum, we've got this upbeat, optimistic song. The sound is clearly inspired by glam rock, an influence that would show in other songs like Panic. But anyway, I love this one because of how damn happy it sounds. The sound conveys the message of the lyrics perfectly. Put the grime of the world in the crutch, dear. That joke isn't funny anymore. One of my favorite among Morrissey and Marr's contemplative ballads. Another case of Marr's music perfectly complementing Morris's vision of a disillusioned romantic driving in a car with the object of his or her despair. Something which kind of seems to be a recurrent theme. My favorite moment is the middle of the song, that beautiful descending chord sequence, which also reappears to close the track. It's such a powerful moment. Some girls are bigger than others. Choosing songs from The Queen is Dead is a highly challenging task, but I decided to go with one of the most underrated ones, which also happens to be one of my favorites. I think a lot of people focus too much on Morris's lyrics on this one, which admittedly are a little silly and even jarring. But listen to that arpeggio. Listen to that melancholy beauty contained within that simple, jangly arpeggio. For my money, that is one of the best creations in Johnny Marr's entire career. William, it was really nothing. Short and to the point. This 2-minute song feels like it's being played all in one breath. There's no time for any breaks or anything, it's just one moment of pop bliss after the other washing over you without pause. And it leaves you with a strange feeling of joy and melancholy at the same time, which this band really knew how to pull off. There is a light that never goes out. Yeah, I had to include this. I'm not breaking any new ground here, but this song is a masterpiece. I mean, what more can you say? Just listen to that opening riff, which was taken from the Velvet Underground, who took it from the Rolling Stones. The lyrics are Morrissey at his romantic and morbid best. There's a reason why this song has achieved such a classic status, beyond its inclusion in a certain film. Again, the subtle arrangements, like the little flute near the end. Yeah, I never realized that it's actually a flute. And then that outro, which might as well go on forever. The exuberance and the depression of teenage romance, it's all there in this beautiful, beautiful song. So those are 10 songs by the Smiths that I really like. But what are some of your favorite Smiths songs? What are some of your least favorites? Now that's interesting. Do you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon.